Brosplay.
Jay Leno. Yeah, I'll do the whole thing in the stupid voice.
Jay Leno, he's our man.
If he can't do it, nobody can. Hey, Jay, Jay. I didn't mean to make that song, but there it is. Born in 1950. I don't know when he was born. Anyway, Jay was originally like you know how Joe was always talking about how Jay's garage is what he should have been doing the whole time.
Yeah.
It's like he agrees with him. He's like I don't take that offensively at all. You're right. It's what I should have been doing the whole time. It's what I've always had a passion for. And
I can't turn.
Wow, that was nice. Well done.
Yeah, those cars are shit, man. The agency cars are so much better.
Is that a commentary on lowriders?
No,
Whoa!
That's just a commentary on government money.
Oh, government money. Jay was originally, he was I don't know if he was a mechanic or he was a used car salesman or something like that. And he just wanted to make a lot more money and realized he wouldn't do it as a used car salesman. So he tried comedy because it was a good way to make money at the time and did comedy routines at places that weren't really made for comedy because that wasn't really a thing back then. So he, in a lot of ways, changed the comedy scene.
I guess he had to make it his own.
Yeah. But he tells the story so much better than me, so I won't really go into it. But his stories about the people he used to, like the people who used to frequent the clubs that he would play at were, I mean, like a huge assortment of characters, like mob bosses, crazy psychopaths, shit like that. And his stories are unbelievable.
Just anyone and everyone.
Yeah, well, there was no scene for comedy in the same way it was back then. And he essentially played at places that would do... It was like two extremes. It was like jazz or people doing... not a bit, but like... what did he say? He used like a really great example. It was like a poetry piece. Where like someone would say something, he's like, "Stop your war machine." Like shit like that. Like it would be he would either be going up after someone like that or in between jazz people and shit like that. Like he was definitely paving the way for future comics.
Well, like the original sort of stand-up comedian, some people would say, is Mark Twain, because he would do these like long form.
That's exactly what they said. Yeah, on the Jay Leno show. Yeah.
Well, that's where I've gotten that from. That's not something I normally know, but I think it's kind of interesting that nowadays stand-up comedy is such an obvious concept. Like if you say stand-up comedy, everyone knows it's a dude standing in front of a bunch of people with a microphone and just talking about, well, what? Talking about nothing, right? That's the essential idea of it. But back then, that must have sounded so preposterous.
Oh, it would have been.
So I'm going to go up there and I'm going to stand in front of a microphone and I'm going to be funny for 45 minutes.
Well, stand-up comedy was named like Let's Plays. Like they didn't know what to call it. They're like, "What's the closest thing we can do?" It's you stand up. It's comedy.
Well, because comedy before, I think part of it is you legitimately are sort of standing up with your comedy, whereas before you do it on TV, you do it on like a late night show. They had those.
Yeah, it's got two meanings. Like the comedy stands up on its own
because it has to.
Because in a show like Family Guy, they're an example where they don't try very hard for a good reason to make a joke. Because of those flashbacks, they had a great opportunity to make fucking any joke. He also has a new show, I don't know what it's called, something about a cavalcade. And I've been told it's essentially Family Guy without the reasons for why they would have flashbacks.
Oh, so they just do it.
From the sounds of it, it's like Attack of the Show, like just skit after skit, or Mad TV, like just a bunch of nonsense, like or kind of like Robot Chicken. Although I haven't watched it, so that's not a direct, proper representation of it. I love this is a boss fight.
Yeah,
it's such an unconventional game.
It is a very unconventional game, but I do like that it's not. This isn't the only strong guy. All of the enemies in this area have 2 health bars.
I fucking love the ridiculous yelling and screaming that people do in the background. It's so fucking funny. And the one guy was just like,
downloading new intel. Yeah, dude's dead.
No.
Well, basically, what that tells you is what implications that has as far as taking out other bosses. Because this guy was probably the like demolitions guy, so they're not going to have as many heavy weapons. Or this guy was like the security guy, so they won't have as many gates.
That is so fucking neat, dude. That is so neat that you can affect the game that way.
Well, the last guy I went to, the one in the beach house, he had a lot less security the last time I fought him because he was the final boss. But this time we left like 2 or 3 bosses, so we had way more to go on.
Wow. I love how this game doesn't really feel connected in that like all the things that you've done kind of feel like their own little separate areas. Like, I don't really remember how we got here. I started really paying attention.
Yeah, it's hard. You really do have to pay attention to the map, or there's no way to know your way around the city.
Yeah. But at the same time, the combat is so consistent that the game kind of feels the same all over the place, and it's kind of nice.
Yeah, it really does, and all the buildings kind of have a similar feel to them. I guess I'm gonna have to get in a car now. I can't just keep murking guys. And I have 3 health bars now. I'm going for 4, maybe even 5. Because some of the later enemies, they don't even like blow you up or anything like that. They just actually shoot you so much you just die. Like, you just do not have the health bars to keep up with certain enemies.
Nah, I just do not got the health bars to deal with
these fucking enemies
with their guns who just think I'm some wigger who tries to be black. Oh, were they trying to flip that?
I think so. The citizens really do take things into their own hands here.
Everything's gone to shit. What's funny is we keep making that joke, and yet I didn't level it properly on Crackdown on the first episode, so you can't even hear him say that.
Really?
If we didn't talk about it, no one would know because we didn't even have subtitles on.
The city has gone to shit.
Universal Music Latino. Okay.
That sounds kind of racist almost.
Dude, have you seen... I think it's Windows 95, or maybe it was XP. Somebody made a Facebook post. It was like, Windows 98 or Windows XP launch was lit. And they put like pretty hardcore route to them showing off the new Windows. And the guys on stage, just like a bunch of white guys in their khakis, just like they're like it really looks like they're like dancing around to rap music.
Really?
Like they are so excited to be showing this Windows version that they like their passion's pretty impressive. Impressive passion.
Yeah, man, you gotta respect passion. Passion's probably the only thing that really matters when it comes to like what you're gonna do for money and spare time.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have passion for something, what the fuck's the point?
Passion, planning, and something else. There's the 3 P's. The 3 P's of pop.
3 P's of being a person?
Of proper creation. Whatever it is you're doing, you need to, proper planning, passion, and performance or something. I don't know. I came up with it a long time ago, then I forgot. But the important, like, passion is one of the most important ones, because passion will drive you to, even if you don't understand how to do something, the passion can drive you to learn how to do something. But understanding technology isn't going to make you want to make something good, and it's not going to inspire. It's not going to make sure that what you make is a proper quality thing. Like I found it so difficult to get into animation, but my passion for wanting to create got me to learn Flash, which was difficult to learn, especially because my first animation was done in Premiere. Jesus.
Well, that's the only reason I learned how to code in DOS in the first place. Is I kind of realized that there's this weird, intangible joy about being able to control your computer at a basic level.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can download all the programs you want to do whatever you want, and that's all well and fine, but if you don't actually know how to make your computer do things, like the same way you know how to, you know, make your body do things, like you can play sports and shit. If you don't know how to work the basic levels of your computer, it's all kind of wasted. As soon as something goes wrong, you're just sitting there with your dick in your hands. And you're like, oh, like, son, daughter, whatever, come and help me with this.
Oh, that bothers me. That really bothers me. People who want to use technology but don't care enough to learn how to use it, and then act like it's a serious problem. Like, I saw a GIF of a lady taking a photo with a digital camera, and it was the wrong way. Like, she was taking a photo of herself. But
At least she wasn't doing it with an iPad. Am I right?
Yeah, okay, yeah. The thing is, with an iPad, you wouldn't take a photo backwards because you need to press the button that's on a screen. It's not an actual button.
That's a good point.
But with this, like, there was a screen. You could see the photo she was taking, and she's taking a photo of herself. It's like, so you want to use technology, but you don't want to bother with learning how to use it. And I bet she's the type of person, and I know that I'm pigeonholing a person I've never even met.
Yeah, you're just assigning them attributes.
Yes, which is also not correct.
You know what? She's probably a dumb bitch.
You know what? I bet she steals from people.
This is a nice truck.
I bet she takes silver spoons out of the mouths of children.
Isn't that actually the point? To
silver spoons?
Yeah, well, like to not allow people to be born with silver spoons in their mouth.
Well, there's pretty obvious complications of birthing a child with a spoon in its mouth.
Did you swallow that spoon before or after conception?
Well, I wasn't really aware of it. I mean, it was my first moments. Dude, we're gonna bring this up again on Mercenaries, but I'm probably not gonna remember it. You ran over that journalist, and I said, did that say $250,000? And you said, no, 25.
Yeah.
No, it was 250,000.
Oh, really?
$250,000 you lose for killing a journalist.
Not a small deal, apparently.
How much do you get in that game for an average mission at the point we're at?
Where we are, probably like 200,000, maybe.
Oh, okay.
Somewhere between 50 and 200,000, depending on the mission.
Okay, so it's pretty high up there.
I
thought it was 50, and I was like, that's crazy if
Yes!
losing a mission.
Yes,
today.
I got him.
That's pretty nice. That reminds me of the Surrogates car accident scene.
What car accident scene?
In Surrogates?
Oh, yes, I do remember that. It's the same kind of truck, even.
What an interesting movie.
It was a great concept.
It was, although I have a huge problem with the way that the trailer was promoted, because they show the final scene as being a conflict of the movie, which it isn't.
The final scene?
Okay, spoilers. At the end of Surrogates, Bruce Willis decides that people aren't going to voluntarily remove themselves from surrogates, and that they're both in danger in their surrogates that they didn't think was there, and they're never gonna give it up because it's just too fucking sexy. Or I can't remember what reason it was for. Something stupid like somebody has control of the surrogates. Blah, blah, blah. So he decides to shut every single one of them down simultaneously, and that's the end of the movie. And so there's a scene where every single person is dropping because they are not actually people. Those are all their surrogates. So they're all being shut down, and they put that in the trailer.
That's true.
To make it look like that's a problem.
Part of the conflict.
Yeah, part of the conflict of the movie, and that's not true. That's the fucking... That's
the resolution.
You put the resolution in your trailer, dummy.
We have defeated Los Muertos. That was their final crime.
Was dying?
No, yeah. You're not allowed to bleed on this place. That little, like, rebellion... I'm just trying to land on this. That little rebellion they had is considered their final act. And this place has now been renamed. Instead of the dirt, it's called Green Bay.
Oh.
Green Bay is not a bad name. Not a bad name.
Green Day is not a bad band.
Oh, I don't have any grenades or anything. All I can do is shoot people now. This clown looks terrifying from above. Like, doesn't he look like he's trying to prey on children?
He does, actually. That's also we're listening to the clown.
Thank you for joining us in the Los Muertos destruction.